Hello everyone. The saga of Disney's most scandalous and perhaps the most unsuccessful film of recent years continues. The remake of the classic fairy tale Snow White, set to release in March 2025, has come under heavy criticism. A few days ago, the new trailer for this remake was accidentally leaked online, even though at the time of creating this video, there was no official promo from Disney yet. Nevertheless, the trailer is already being actively discussed on the internet. Interestingly, when reading the press reviews, they are mostly, surprisingly, quite positive. This might give the impression that the leak was intentional, aiming to prepare the audience with laudatory reviews. However, viewers were instead left in shock at how Disney managed to alter Snow White's image. One of the former company executives tweeted that watching the trailer is simply impossible, and suggested releasing the film directly on Disney Plus instead of theaters to avoid embarrassment. I propose that we watch and discuss the new trailer together, as well as all the latest details and the enormous budget of the upcoming Snow White. It's going to be interesting. Regarding the new Snow White, the prospects don't look very promising. The film's lead actress, Rachel Zegler, is constantly at the center of new scandals. Recently, she had to apologize to her fans on her Instagram. This indicates that Disney has reached its limit, forcing Rachel to act in such a way. The film's creators have been trying for several years to craft an image that appears the smartest, most beautiful, or the most progressive, but their efforts are causing the film team to lose focus. Instead of using time-tested elements, they're adding unnecessary details, which will likely negatively impact the final product. Honestly, I don't understand who will watch this movie. For example, the dwarfs in the new film were initially replaced with some magical creatures called bandits. Then, it seems these bandits were completely removed from the film, leaving only their leader. Instead of live actors, they used disgusting animation with horrifying characters, making the fairy tale scarier than any horror movie. This is clearly visible in the new trailer, possibly because it's still not on Disney's official page. The trailer was shown in theaters before the movie The Wicked, and then it leaked online in good quality. We can thoroughly examine everything that's happening. The first thing you notice is the absence of Rachel Zegler and the presence of her stepmother, played by Gadot. At least one female role in the film deserves credit. The stepmother is truly outstanding. As for Zegler, she doesn't play terribly, and by the way, she sings quite well. However, she tries too hard to stand out from the traditional fairy tale type, and visually she doesn't fit the role of Snow White. The contrast with Gal Gadot works against her because who in their right mind would believe that the stepmother would get so angry and decide to get rid of Snow White? It looks ridiculous. In the promo, Snow White talks about how wonderful it was in her father's kingdom, but then the evil stepmother arrived and everything changed. Then it follows the plot. The queen envied Snow White after the magical mirror's recognition, hired a hunter to deal with her, but the good-hearted hunter let her go into the supercomputer forest. There, she ended up in a magical computer house where she met the horrifying, creepy, and disgusting computer dwarfs. The 7 dwarfs became a stumbling block in this film. Instead of adapting the story normally, Disney complicated everything, succumbing to criticism from Peter Dinklage, who opposed the participation of actors with dwarfism in the remake. Consequently, after attempts to replace the dwarfs with bandits, Disney used CGI, which looks worse and worse with each new trailer. These dwarfs are impossible to watch. They're disgusting. Moreover, if Disney had used live actors, like Peter Jackson did in The Hobbit, the film could have been charismatic and interesting. Instead, they chose disgusting animation, and the movie became almost entirely computer-generated. Viewer comments demand answers, but it seems they won't get them. Former Disney executive Jim Schull criticized the Snow White trailer, calling it unacceptable and suggested releasing the film directly on Disney Plus, like Tom Hanks did with Pinocchio. The financial side of things also looks bad. The film's budget reached $270 million before reshoots. Then another $100 million was added for reshoots and advertising. In total, the expenses could exceed $450 million. The film's break-even point is around $900 million, which seems unlikely. Personally, I don't believe the movie will gross $1 billion at the box office. Disney should already start counting losses because the future of Snow White will likely bring financial setbacks to the company. It appears that Disney deliberately released the promo unofficially to avoid millions of dislikes and negative comments, as well as to allow the press to try to sway the public in favor of the new Snow White. Forbes magazine reports that Disney removed all mentions of Snow White from next year's announcements, and the new trailer hasn't been officially released yet. It's obvious that failure awaits them. Furthermore, it's worth noting that Disney isn't facing these problems for the first time with their remakes of classic films. In the past, projects like Cinderella 2015 and Beauty and the Beast 2017 received mixed reviews. Although they achieved commercial success, many fans criticized the changes in plots and characters, viewing them as deviations from the originals. This raises questions about whether the new Snow White remake can avoid similar mistakes. Another important aspect is Disney's marketing strategy. The company traditionally invests huge amounts in promoting its films, using various platforms and partnerships. However, considering the current situation with the trailer leak, it can be assumed that Disney might change its strategy, focusing more on digital channels and social media to control information and minimize negative feedback. This could also be related to the general trends in the entertainment industry, where streaming services are gaining increasing popularity. Regarding casting, Rachel Zegler's selection for the role of Snow White sparked many debates. Some fans believe she isn't suitable for the role due to differences in appearance from the classic heroine and her involvement in various scandals. Instead, many suggested other actresses who they think could better embody Snow White's character. Meanwhile, Gal Gadot's participation as the stepmother adds star power to the film, but also raises questions about the balance between the main roles. The technical side of the remake is also concerning. The use of CGI to create the dwarfs and other magical creatures, as mentioned earlier, doesn't meet viewers' expectations. Modern technologies allow for more realistic and detailed characters, but if CGI is used poorly, it can negatively impact the film's perception. Poor animation can distract viewers from the plot and reduce the overall impression of the movie. Additionally, the script is a crucial factor. In the original fairy tale and classic adaptations, the plot was simple and clear, allowing audiences to easily follow the story's development. In the new remake, if the writers try to add too many new elements and complicate the plot, it might lead to losing the main idea and make the film less accessible to the audience. Balancing new ideas with respect for the original is a key point that Disney must consider. Fans are also worried that the remake might alter the main characters' personalities. Traditionally, Snow White has been portrayed as a naive and kind-hearted princess, but if the new film gives her a more complex and contradictory character, it could change the heroine's perception. It's important that the changes don't destroy the character's main appeal and retain her essence. Financial expectations for the film also raise doubts. As mentioned earlier, the budget could exceed $450 million, which is a significant amount even for a major studio project. The expected box office revenue of $900 million seems optimistic, especially given the current negative audience reaction and possible marketing strategy failures. If the film doesn't meet expectations, it could lead to serious financial losses for Disney. It's also essential to consider the impact of social media on the film's perception. In today's world, user reviews and opinions spread instantly, and negative feedback can quickly undermine interest in the movie. Disney needs to be prepared for potential critical reviews and develop a strategy to manage the project's reputation. In conclusion, Disney's Snow White remake faces numerous challenges, from casting and technical execution to financial risks and reputation management. It's crucial for the studio to consider all these aspects and find a balance between honoring the original and introducing new ideas. Only then does the film have a chance to become successful and beloved by both old and new audiences. If you have your own opinions and predictions about the future of the film, write them in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel, like the video, and share it with your friends. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time.